Hey everyone, I am Chef April with Cultivate, and we are here doing another cooking video, working with HealthLinc today. And so today is going to be all about kind of vegetable prep and working with your knife. So if you can go ahead and if you're working along with me, you can go ahead and grab a cutting board and you can grab your knife, your favorite knife. And then also we're gonna work with red peppers today and also red onions. So again, red or white, it just doesn't matter, but I am gonna show you kind of the basic cutting technique and ones that once you learn these techniques, you can use them in many of the other recipes that we're actually gonna be creating in these videos and in this session. So first off, make sure you wash your hands, make sure you're nice and clean and all ready to do some cooking. Get your knife, and we're gonna take the red pepper and we're just gonna cut it right in half. So you're gonna have two halves. I always have like a trash bin or a container that I don't have to search around for a trash container in my kitchen. I just have it all of a sudden like right with me on the table. So you're gonna dig out the guts. You can just do this with your hands. The seeds, if you are a gardener, you can save the seeds and dry them and then plant them in your garden and you can grow your own red peppers. So that's kind of a fun little trick too. I've done it, it works, I promise. So you're gonna clean out the pepper there. Now these are just red peppers. There's no heat to these peppers like they are in a lot of other peppers that you've probably heard about. The green pepper, of course, is a pretty basic pepper. There's no heat in that either. This just really gives a nice warm flavor to your dish. So, and it's really pretty color. So it adds a lot of color to something that maybe is really kind of bland on your plate. So first off, we're gonna take the peppers, and this is actually the membrane. So what I do is very carefully holding your knife correctly, which is what we spoke before, holding it around the neck and giving that knife a nice firm grip. I actually cut out the white membrane. Be careful of your fingers, and you're gonna discard that. And that just it kind of is bitter. You can eat it, it's totally edible, but when you're making a dish with it, sometimes it adds kind of a bitter flavor, and sometimes it adds kind of like a dull pepper taste, if that makes sense. So we're gonna get rid of that. So your peppers are cleaned, and now what we're gonna do is you're gonna make a claw with your hand and you're going to put your knife directly up against it because you don't wanna lose any digits, especially while you're cooking with me on these videos, okay? I don't see them though, so you'll be okay. But what you're gonna do is put your knife up against your knuckles and you're gonna make some strips. This is, in the culinary world, it's called julienne. So we're gonna make some strips, almost like if you've ever had fajitas, just the longer strips. When you get those strips done, just put them in a nice little pile, because then you'll get more even cuts. Again, you're gonna put your knife up against your knuckle, and you're gonna put your knife down, and you're gonna just nice and slow. There's no contest to how fast you can do it, like the chefs maybe on TV do it. And I promise every chef has cut themselves. So, so you're just gonna go ahead and just put your knife up against your knuckles there and just make some nice little cuts, and you'll have, this is called a small dice of red pepper, okay? So I'm gonna actually do the rest of these off camera, but I wanna show you one more time here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna make the long strips, which is called julienne. Go ahead and make those strips all around the nice same size. Line them all up. And then you're gonna come down and just make the little cross hatches and make that into a small dice. Okay, you can pop those into a nice little pile, and then you are ready for your next item. So for us, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to cut an onion. Sometimes this is the most questionable vegetable. Everybody has like their own way to really cut an onion. So you're going to cut off, I do it probably not the right way, but I'm gonna show you the way that's really easy. So I promise it will work for you. So you're gonna cut off both ends. This is trash. Pop it in the bucket. I'm gonna show you both ways though, just so you're like, oh, this chef taught me, but it was the wrong way. I don't wanna do that to you. Peel off the outer layer of skin. This is typically where people sometimes will cry. So if you have to take a break and wipe your eyes, that's okay. Just don't touch your eyes with your hand. Big mistake. All right. So now flat side down, because you don't want the onion to roll, right? And you're gonna go, so it's like the shape of, let's say, a moon, and there's like on the onion, there's these little lines. So you're actually gonna go and see, now the onion's gonna get me. There's a lot of different ways that you can cut it. If you're gonna cut it almond or julienne, like what we did with the peppers, then you're gonna cut it along those lines that are already made for you in the onion. So then you'll see there's like little pieces. Okay, so there's that way, so that's the long strips. We're gonna again make our slices. And we're gonna come down. And then when you lift up your knife, after you clear off all the end pieces that didn't work, you're gonna have your small dice of onion. You wanna keep this onion for other cooking purposes, so don't discard it, okay? I'm gonna show you the other way really quick. This is where you keep the root end intact. So the root that has like the little furry end on it, keep that. That's the part where it grows actually in the ground. So we're gonna keep that, and we're gonna cut off this end. We're gonna peel it off quick. The other reason that people cry actually when they are peeling an onion is their knife is actually gonna be dull. So you wanna make sure, again, that you have a really sharp knife, because the dull knife actually opens up. There's so many like little cell pods that are in here, and they're full of gas. So when your knife cuts that, if it's a dull knife, it'll actually create and open up those air pods, and that's the tears. That's where the tears come. So it's the gas that causes the tears. So I'm gonna cut it right down there. So again, you're still gonna have the root end intact. And we're gonna go across the moon. And this one is easier because you can just kind of go across. And then I have that knife up against my knuckle again. And now you went across the moon, and now you're gonna make your little pieces, your small dice. There you go. And that was the other way to cut your onions. So again, we're gonna be saving these. Feel free to practice, because really onions you can actually put into like the freezer, and you can use them as at a different time as well. And we're gonna be using both the red pepper and the onion in the recipes to follow. So hope to see you again soon.